Genesis chapter 22. God put Abraham to the test. Sometime later, God put Abraham to the test. He said to him, "Abraham, here I am," Abraham replied. Then God said, "Take your son, your only son. He is the one you love. Take Isaac, go to Moriah. Give him to me there as a burnt offering. Sacrifice him on one of the mountains I will tell you about." Early the next morning, Abraham got up. He put a saddle on his donkey. He took 2 of his servants and his son Isaac with him. He cut enough wood for a burnt offering, and then he started out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up. He saw the place a long way off. He said to his servants, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there and worship, and we'll come back to you." Abraham put the wood for the burnt offering on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. 2 of them walked together. Then Isaac spoke up. He said to his father Abraham, "Father?" "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "The fire and the wood are here," Isaac said. "But where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." The 2 of them walked together. They reached the place God had told Abraham about. And there Abraham built an altar. He arranged the wood on it. He tied up his son Isaac and placed him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took a knife to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven. He said, "Abraham, Abraham." "Here I am," Abraham replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you have respect for God, and you have not held back from me your son, your only son." Abraham looked up, and there in a bush he saw a ram, and it was caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram. He sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." To this day the people say, "It will be provided on the mountain of the Lord." And the angel of the Lord called out to Abraham from heaven a second time. He said, "I'm taking an oath in my name. I will bless you because of what you have done, announces the Lord. You have not held back your son, your only son. So I will certainly bless you. I will make your children after you as many as the stars of the sky, and I will make them as many as the grains of the sands of the seashore. Your children will take over the cities of their enemies. All nations on earth will be blessed because of your children. All that will happen because you have obeyed me." Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they started out together for Beersheba. And Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Well, sometime later, Abraham was told, "Milcah has become a mother. She has had sons by your brother Nahor. Uz was born first, and then came his brother Buz. And later came Kemuel, the father of Aram. And the other sons were Kesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jildath, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah, and Milcah had 8 sons by Abraham's brother Nahor. Nahor had a concubine named Reumah, and she also had sons. They were Tebah, Gaham, Tehash, and Maacah. So we had pray all the time because the Lord answers prayers, because just talking with God is prayerful. And they offered the altar, the sacrifice of the Lord, which is praise. And God will help us out of our troubles.
Because
Survive by leaning on each other.
Because he was scared to kill his son, but he did it.
Yeah.
And
Love always protects, because God protected Isaac. He didn't let him harm. Didn't let Abraham harm him. Tell me how. Content.
Because Abraham didn't complain, or whenever God said that he had to make him
offer his son as a burnt offering. There's the horse. Speak good things to each other so they will grow strong. I think what Abraham said to God helped him grow really strong. Or what God said to Abraham, saying that because of what he did in obeying God, he'll give him many, many children. I think this one too, with humility comes honor, and pride comes before a fall. Abraham wasn't proud at all. He obeyed God. He was humble, and he did what God said to do. This love is patient. I don't know if this comes up in this story as much, but just having the patient. Here's where I think patient comes in. Abraham waited a long time to get his son Isaac, right? Well, I think this whole story is a shadow for what's going to come with Jesus when God will send his only son and he'll have to kill him. And so Abraham will have to be patient to wait to get all of his sons, and then ultimately for the Jesus to come to save mankind, which would be hope, which would give freely hope to those who receive it, which would be Pinky, which would be our Jesus Christ, is the ultimate hope. How about don't get mixed up in silly little fights? God didn't make us so selfish. I think we can say this as Abraham didn't get in a fight with God. He just did what he said. 10 bubbles, 1 breakfast pray.